if you ever feel like you are in a situation that is so stressful and you just feel like you can't do anything about it, but still you're stressing over that situation and you feel abandoned, you feel alone. Well, I lived quite the same recently. A few days ago, I had a flight planned from an island to the mainland, and it was an internal flight, so it was like, domestic flight, and but it was planned in the morning, and when I arrived there, it was all okay. But the moment that I had to actually go on that plane, the plane got cancelled for bad weather, for bad wind, and so I remained on the island. This place has a great difference, like a great hour difference from my home. So I could not contact anyone at home. I just was there alone because I am solo traveling right now. So that was quite of a bad situation to be in. I didn't find any flight available, and the company just didn't have any flight available for like a week. So it was pretty bad. And then I found a flight the next day with another company, and the previous company could refund me like the first flight money. So that turned out to be, better. But the reflection that I want to make about this situation is that many times you find yourself in situations where you have no control over what happens, because maybe the environment dictates somehow like how it's going to turn out. And sometimes you feel like you have to survive situations that you didn't create, that you didn't, generate, and you feel like you are alone coping with that situation. You feel like are completely abandoned by the universe, God, your guides, angels. I don't know if you believe in something, but yeah, you feel completely abandoned by life in general, and you ask yourself, why me? Why is this happening to me? And the actual question is not a bad question, but you need to reframe it, because you need to go from why is this happening to me? You need to tell yourself, what do I need to learn from this? And I realized that I assumed that since I'm spiritual, I'm on a spiritual journey, I'm on, a self improvement journey, and whatever, everything goes well and is right and is perfect and is aligned beautifully every time, all the time. But it's not like that, because life has its down and ups and lows, and life is like that. And you also have to learn from, the downs, from the moments that are not that beautiful, that are not that in your favor. And we need to learn from that, not to feel victims of our life and of our life conditions. And I realized that that day I felt like I was a victim of my life, and I didn't understand why this thing was happening to me, because actually it could happen to anyone and it's nothing serious. Yeah, it's like very annoying, but at the same time it's not like someone is dying. I just got like my flight cancelled, so okay, I just rescheduled it, and just I could fly anyway like the next day, so it wasn't a big of a deal. But still you feel that sense of victimism. And yeah, that assumption that if you are spiritual, then everything is going to be okay, fine, perfect, positive, is wrong. Because it's true that probably you will live a more aligned life. I feel like my life is aligned to, possibilities, and even in this situation I could schedule a new flight, and it wasn't that hard after all. But still, bad things could happen anyway. And you just need to learn to manage, to learn to how to cope with those feelings, with anxiety, with stress, and with all those emotions that come up when some kind of situations happen. And I think it's a sort of test, is a sort of exam, because maybe first you are given, like, I don't know, maybe easier exams, easier tests to see if you're ready to cope with something bigger, and then the bigger lessons arrive and you are asked to actually be able to confront with them, be able to overcome them, and become a better person and become a stronger person with this, like, inner strength. And I think that every time that I'm living a very hard time, I'm alone and I can't contact anyone. And that is not just the first time it happens, it always happens like that. I don't know why, but I think that that's not casual, because every time that I need to do something on my own and I need to be alone doing that, I need to be the one who takes responsibility for my own decisions, for my own actions. And in those situations, I'm alone. There's nobody to contact. There's no mom to call, like crying, "Mom, please tell me what to do." Because this is what I usually do. We all need someone to call and that we know can help us. But we are growing, because we are growing in order for us to be independent and to take our own choices, our own decisions, our own responsibilities. And when you're able to do that, even in harder situations, when you are alone, far away from home, maybe in a difficult situation, maybe you don't speak the language, maybe there are many people, there is a great mess, there is chaos around you, and maybe life is telling you, in the chaos you need to find your answers. In the chaos of the world, you need to be the one to actually change for yourself, to actually do something for yourself and take action for yourself, and not let anybody else decide what you need to do, because it's your choice. I could have different choices. I could decide to take a plane the same night, even though it could be cloudy and windy and it could be cancelled again. I could decide to stay there another 7 days and wait for my company to reschedule the flight, not to lose the money. But then I decided to book another flight the next day, and they actually, at the end, they refund my money. So I didn't lose my money, but I decided from a place of listening to listening to myself and listening to my need. What I needed to do was to leave that place like the next day. I didn't want to stay there for other 7 days. I wanted to go to the next place. That was what I felt and how I felt. And it was the right thing to do. So in every kind of situation, if you find yourself alone and you are desperate because you need someone to tell you what to do, you don't need anyone to tell you what to do. You need to listen to yourself. Go inside, even in the chaos. Just stop, stay in silence, and ask yourself, ask your soul, ask your divine part or whatever it is, what do I need to do? And don't think with the mind, think with your soul. What do I need to do? What's the best way for me to solve this situation, to come out of this? So yeah, I hope that this video helps you. Living teaches me so much, and even those annoying situations are such great teachers for life. And I learn so much every day from my mistakes, from my actions, my decisions, and I'm still happy because I made my own decision. And if my mom answered the phone, probably she would have given me um, a different answer, and maybe something could change completely. So yeah, thank you so much again. And if you find yourself in a difficult situation, please listen to yourself. don't feel like the victim of life, because life is always trying to teach you something from every kind of situation, even like the hardest ones. So yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you're good even in the bad. Always love yourself and appreciate what you do and how you cope with everything and the effort that you make every day to make it in this world. So yeah, take a moment to tell yourself that you have a lot of value and you can do it, and you can actually achieve that strong, that powerful version of yourself. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.